what we were doing, what we were engaged in, who our friends were. And I do believe in this society we are definitely missing that. So bringing families back to the dinner table to do what? To educate them along with financial literacy so that we can do what? Start beginning to have a more healthy relationship with our money. Many of us, we know, we did not get training as to how money works, principles of money passed down to us intentionally. It is not taught in the school district, neither at your graduate level. I have several degrees, and the things that I have learned over the last 3 years being in the financial services industry, I did not get pursuing, the dual masters. And I am actually right now pursuing a certification in financial literacy as an educator. I'm so into it, and I am just conditioned to be a internal student. And so that is a pursuit of mine, even at 61. So what am I saying? Never stop learning. The Bible tells us to do what? To have a hunger and thirst after righteousness. We should also have a hunger and thirst after what? After knowledge. That's right. So if you would assist me with the presentation, just about 20 minutes, we're just going to talk today, share with you about 5 principles to make sure that if these are things that you are not already incorporating in your day-to-day life, if you're not already incorporating in your day-to-day life, then we want to do what? Move you in that direction. And then afterwards, we are going to play a little bingo. We have some gift prizes, and then we're going to wrap up with our networking session. So if you have business cards, or if you hear something on today and you desire to sit down with us and set a schedule that we can talk with you one-on-one to work with you through what we call our wealth checkup, our financial needs analysis, so we can look and see where you have those gaps and we can gladly offer some solutions. Let's talk about today, why does financial cancer exist? We all know what cancer is. It's something that gets into the body, and that's what erodes and destroys the molecular and cellular buildup of the body. And so therefore, just like cancer inside of our bodies, there is also what we call financial cancer. Like cancer in the body, financial cancer, what does it do? It grows if it is what? Left untreated. That's right. Looking at some statistics, 7 out of 10 Americans are financially illiterate. Now we tend to sometimes be a little offended when we hear the word illiterate, but it just simply means what? Without the knowledge of. And so if we are in a position where we do not have the knowledge in a specific area, and that's why a degree is called what? A degree. It's a degree of knowledge in a specialty area. Does not mean you know everything. It says you have a degree of knowledge, subject matter expert in a specific area. And so what we're doing is, again, educating. Somebody say educate.
Educate.
Educate. So what is financial cancer? Financial cancer looks like living paycheck to paycheck. I'm not going to ask you to hold your hand up. Don't do that.
I've been before.
Just speak that into, inside your own spirit. High interest debt. It looks like being uninsured, underinsured. We have one statistic that says there's about 37 million Americans who are underinsured and about 30 million totally uninsured at all. So being underinsured, uninsured, does what? Puts us in a position where we were going to do what? We're going to at some point be at a deficit in our lives.
That's right.
All right. Financial cancer looks like no emergency fund savings. Now this one I want you to help me with. I love doing this challenge when I am doing my financial literacy. All right. And if you heard me teach this already, if you've been a part of my classes, you can't answer. But the question on the table, okay, if I presented to you today this 100 envelope savings challenge, inside of it How many days of the year are there? How many days of the year?
365.
365. So the challenge would be 100 days out of the 365 is that you take the amount of money that's on each one of these little envelopes, all the way from the number 1 all the way to 100. Now, for our first door prize, if you put $1 in the dollar, 2 in the $2, 3 in the $3, 4 in the $4, 5 in the $5, all the way up to 100, by the time you fill this book up, how much money would you have? This is saving just 100 days. It does not have to be consecutive days. 100 days out of the year, filling this book up. How much would you have? All right. Anybody close to being math majors? Give it a shot.
760. Oh, is it 765? $765?
No, come on.
No.
Come on.
5,000.
Woo, I'm gonna go with that answer.
Okay. I think it's like
$5,050.
in my financial
$5,050. Ladies, this takes $12, Amazon.
Yeah.
And so the challenge always is to do something you have not been doing before. Who knows that phrase? Well, how is that working for you? So if you do not have at minimum $2,000 as for a emergency fund, this is a good way to challenge yourself.
Yeah.
In churches, I have husband and wives to challenge each other. We have ministries to challenge each other. We have the children to challenge each other. And so by the time you save $5,050 within a year's time, you have what? You have your $2,000 emergency fund. You have Christmas, so you're not charging on those credit cards. You're not over budget for Christmas. And you have what? You have the ability to respond to those emergencies. Statistics show that 8 out of 10 Americans cannot afford a $500 emergency. 8 out of 10 cannot afford a $500 emergency. So financial cancer, no investment, and no pursuit of financial education. Next one. So I am a YouTuber, not a content creator. I hang out on YouTube and I do a lot of self-educating. Come on, take a picture here. These are some of the people that I follow. I have tested them out. They are providing good information that is truthful, that's impactful. You know, they're not out there teaching these scams and getting quick rich, but these are people who are actually teaching financial literacy as well. So just depending on what your group is. If you're the kind of easy flow person, they're the Wealth Twins. Go out there, Google the Wealth Twins. One of my favorite people is Jaspreet Singh. He is Money Mindset. He is an attorney. I love it. Jaspreet said, I am a licensed attorney, but I'm not your attorney. I'm just a random guy on YouTube. So don't just take what I am saying at full face value. He says, do the due diligence and go out and do the additional research for yourself.
Yep.
If you're like someone on the corporate, the title church level, Les Jenkins. Les Jenkins served on Wall Street for a number of years. He is now a pastor, so he's teaching financial principles that are biblically based. He's good to follow. Anthony O'Neill.
I like Anthony O'Neill.
The table with Anthony O'Neill.
He's good.
Yeah, came out of
Dave Ramsey.
And so he has a huge platform. Myron Golden, trash man to cash man. Love me some Myron Golden. He was the first person that I heard to teach where do we see the word gold, G-O-L-D, first in the Bible. First in the Bible. That's a Question
talking
on the
about
floor. The first time we see the word gold
when he's
in
talking
the
about
Bible.
when the street paved the streets of heaven.
Okay, is that Revelations?
Oh, that's the end. Okay.
No, okay, I'm just asking.
I think it is.
So, in chapter 2 of Genesis, a part of the creation story, we see there with the exception of man being put in place, we see chapter 2 speaks about, and they're in the Garden of Eden, speaking of, they're in the midst of the garden, that there is this river, and out of the river there flows 4 channels. One of the channels that is called Pison, P-I-S-O-N, and there it says it is full of this, and gold. And so that puzzled me. And so I began to ask the Spirit of the Lord, why would you put gold in the garden? Because even at this time, Eve is not even presented. And so with Adam there himself, he did not have anyone to do what? Interact with. He did not have anyone to exchange gold with. So why would you have it? And so I like to say the answer that I was given, in the infinite mind of God, God knew at some point that there was going to be an exchange of what we call currency. We call it fiat currency right now, but what backs that up, actual, what we call metals. And so what gold is very limited and it is very precious. And so seeing so many years forward how gold would be used in humanity to stand as a means of wealth. So
That's Genesis 2:11.
2:11.
Genesis
was-
2:11.
Yes. And then if you want some culture with your financial literacy, Wall Street Trapper out of New Orleans spent some time behind bars. Just so happened the man he was in the cell with had a tag that showed he had committed, what is it, the grand theft, embezzlement. So the embezzlement was 2.7 million. When he tells the story of how the guy was able to pay restitution of the 700,000 but keep the 7 million, that put Wall Street, according to his testimony, got him to thinking. And so for the rest of the 4.5 years that he was on lockdown, he self-taught himself, going to the library. And so what is that? That's an encouragement today to us, that we can do what, no matter what our background is, where we come from, that we have the potential to educate ourselves so we can begin to do what? Making much better decisions with our money. So if you've got a picture of that, we're going to go to the next slide. 8 pillars of financial literacy. Your money is spread across not just these 8, but these are 8 that I teach about because I pulled them in a number of ways. Budgeting, managing a budget, what comes in, what goes out. Savings, what are you saving? I am going to speak to a formula, the 75-15-10 formula, where you are living off of 75% of your take home, 15% you're putting aside to invest, and 10% you're putting aside to save. Banking, what banks don't want you to know. Credit, we talked about what high interest credit rates, whether that's in your credit cards, maybe your mortgage, certainly your vehicle. You all know people are paying $1,000 for these trucks. And so on top of, I have a tax client up in Virginia, and I'm like, you're paying what? On top of the $1,000 note, the insurance is almost $500 a month. So we're talking $1,500 just to ride in an asset that is what? Depreciating. All right, retirement. I do like to do a segment on retirement. Do you know your numbers? Do you know your retirement numbers? I do a piece on your paycheck. How many of you all know exactly what every deduction on your paycheck stands for? Got one? All right. I got some that don't want to be. But that's a piece that we teach also. Knowing your numbers, what the deductions are, and if they are tax advantage for you. All right, let's talk about loans. We talked about those high interest loans. Loans to do what? Buy assets that are going to depreciate so they do not what? They do not build wealth. There is a very big difference between bad debt and good debt. That's a totally different topic. So we have been extending the opportunity to come back to the Marshall area here in the community. Certainly Ms. Delma, we're going to give her an opportunity to speak. And Jaquela will be here to offer more of these type of trainings to the community to get you engaged. Investing, if we're not investing at least 5%, 10% of our money, we cannot do what? We cannot build wealth. You cannot build wealth just by what? Going to a W-2 job and just paying your bills and saving what's left over. Plus, we have that formula backwards anyway. We're going to speak to that. And then debt management. Let's go to the next slide, please. Money principles and practices. Somebody say, grow your mind, grow your money. If you grow your mind, you can grow your money, because we have what systemically as a culture of people, the African American culture, we have been left out, we have been left behind, and so as a result, we find ourselves what? At the back end, at the lower end of actually building wealth. And this is why these type of gatherings are so important, to help you do what? To say, here we are offering you this opportunity to partner with you, to educate you, so you don't have to be afraid, you don't have to be fearful, you don't have to be embarrassed, you don't have to be shameful, because what? You cannot do what you do not know. If I knew principles of money just 5 years ago, yes, if I knew some of the principles of money that I know now, just 5 years ago, all of my family, we would be millionaires. And now I'll talk about that. That's just even through insurance. All right, let's keep tracking. Everybody tracking with me? All right, now I would ask this question: which do you choose? If I offered you a one-time payment of $1 million, or if I gave you a penny today and doubled it for 30 days, of the two, which would you choose? Giving you $1 million today, or I give you a penny, a simple copper penny, but then I teach you the principle of how money doubles, and we say for 30 days, which do you choose? Joshua says, life will always be about choices. Choose you this day whom you will serve. Joshua says what? As for me and my house, we're going to serve the Lord. So, who wants $1 million today? I've got two. All right. Who wants the penny? Delma wants the penny. All right, so let's go to the next slide. So look at this. This blows me away each time that I teach this principle. The principle of how money doubles. Money is against the world, y'all. And the people who what? Know the rules are the ones that are what? They are benefiting. They are the ones that are growing their wealth. So how can you win in the money game if you don't know the rules? And so take this time, not right now, but take the time and double a penny. And by the time you get to 30 days, $5,368,709. Isn't that awesome? Now, see, that was supposed to, that
Yep.
was my wow moment. I need a wow.
Wow.
So 1 penny becomes 2 cents. 2 cents becomes 4 cents. 4 cents becomes 8 cents. 8 cents becomes 16. 16
Yep.
becomes 32. But it's not until you get to about day 26 when we're up now in the 100,000s, and so the 100,000s double. And then when we get to the million and double that 2 times, that just blows me away. And I'm a math major. I started out as a math major, 24 hours of math, moved over to accounting and business, and so my background is finance and audit. I've been a tax professional now for about 26 years, 10 years internal revenue, right out of college, and so I do understand numbers. And when we begin to do what? Look at the money principles and begin to understand how they work, what can we do then? We can make them work for us.
That's right.
So money principle number one, I'm studying under an investor, a strategist. She earned her first $1 million at the age of 28, and right there in the middle of South Dallas, and she is teaching money principles. I got your attention. Right there at Zan Wesley Homes. So the first thing you do, pay yourself first.
Yep.
Save before you spend. Were we ever taught that? We weren't taught that.
Really.
Pay yourself first, save before you spend. So this is the habit of the wealthy. This is the number one principal habit of the wealthy. Put rules on your money. I love this one.
Yeah.
I love this one. If you have friends who want to borrow, you've got family who want to borrow. They want to borrow $200. But you know JoJo only has the capacity to repay $20. You got to say, JoJo, here's $20.
Yep. 'Cause y'all know if you're gonna get it back.
Put rules on your money.
Yeah.
When it's time for your payday, you should already have your money assigned.
Yep.
Pay yourself first, pay yourself with interest, then put aside a portion for investing, and then here's this rule, the 75-15-10 rule. Got this from Jaspreet. He says 75 is what we're going to live on, that's going to be take home, 15% set aside for investing, and then 10% you're setting aside for saving. Because if you don't invest, if you do not save, you can do what? You cannot build wealth. Money principle number 2, compound interest. We just talked about how money doubles. Now let's talk about compounding interest. Your money is what? Compounding when what? It is the principal and the interest that you are paying is what? Growing.
Yeah.
All right. I learned this very early in internal revenue, and this is why revenue agents, this is why we got a whole lot of cuss outs. Yes, they get a bill in the month of January. This is the balance. That balance, we're going to say $3,500. By the time they get another bill in the next quarter,
extra money.
90 days later, that $3,500 is up to $3,700, $3,800. They're wondering like, how? Penalty and interest. So compounding means that they are actually taking that principal, the amount that you owe, and the interest that it's accruing. And so it's adding daily. So the interest that was accrued on day 1, added for day 2, then day 3, you're paying interest on the principal and the interest from day 2, and go forward. So it is said that he who understands what compound interest, he who understands it earns it. He who doesn't understand it pays it. And this is why we see our credit card bills. We see our our notes with, again, people like the Internal Revenue Service that continue to increase. And so we are paying what interest on top of the principal and the interest. So there's an example of how money would grow. Over this example, $100 a month, your return 8% over 30 years, that would be $149,000. And so if you were able to get into the calculator, and put that in as a formula, then you would be able to see how 8% would grow over 30 years. Next slide. Let's keep tracking. Money principle number 3, rate of return. What is the rate of return that you are getting on your money? So I'm saying today, do not chase quick money, chase what? Consistent money. So the rate of return, if we were to take 72, which is what we call an arbitrary number, and we teach this, the rule of 72. The rule of 72 says this: if you take 72, divide it by the rate of return, we're going to say in this case 10%. So you have your money invested in a product, you're getting a year-over-year rate of return 10%. So when we divide that 72 by 10%, what's the answer? 7.2. So this rule says to us every 7.2 years, your money is doubling. And so if you want to look at like retirement numbers to determine how much you're going to need when you get into retirement, then we would use, this is one of the simple rules to help you determine how much money you're going to need in retirement. Positive returns equals what? Growth. Equals growth. So if you're out there in the market, when you are getting positive returns year over year, your money is growing. Negative returns or poor investment choices equals what? Setbacks. All right, setbacks. There are always going to be some setbacks. Because why? We're going to have what? We're going to have both some bearish markets and we're going to have some bullish market. But we're going to get to the close of this where we're going to show you how you can grow your money, protect your money, and how you can guarantee your money, and one of them. And without putting your money out there in the market, but you'll be able to get a return that is very similar. Okay, next slide. Money principle number 4, taxes and inflation. I already said my background, taxes. Inflation is what? It's just a silent tax. Inflation simply says I had $100 in 2020, and what I could go to the grocery store and buy for $100 in 2020. Do you think you can go and put the same amount of groceries in that grocery basket?
Sure can.
With that same $100 in 2025. So no,
Sure
inflation is simply a silent tax. And as I was shopping even for preparing for the event today, when I went to the deli to get that peppered turkey, and I said 2 pounds. And I'm like, I'm not gonna get any more than that. And I'm like, man, these tariffs. And so we need to do what? We need to be familiar with how taxes and inflation work so that we can do what? We can put our money in places where we have the tax advantage so that our money can continue to grow. It's not what you earn, it's what you keep after taxes. This is what I tell my business owners all the time. I've got one young lady, two trucks. She just did $774,000. She is 3 years in, so she is getting the hang of the day-to-day operations, but however, she has not worked with a tax planning specialist or strategist, so she does not have any rules that do what? That is going to create some tax savings according to the tax law. And of course, just to let you know, the taxes, the tax law, what? IRC, Internal Revenue Code, are built and designed to favor businesses. So if you got a side hustle, let us show you how to make that side hustle become a legitimate business and get those tax write-offs. Okay, how am I tracking? Am I at 20 minutes? I think I am. Just a couple more. Money principle number 5, we just taught that rule of 72, the time it takes for your money to double. 72 divided by the rate of return will tell you the number of years that your money would double. In the example we just did, 7.2 years.
Every 7 years doubles.
All right, more money principles. So today we want to close out by just sharing with you again, it is our desire to make sure that our community is not just educated, but well educated. And so we have this concept that is called the wealth checkup. Inside of that wealth checkup, we're able to sit down with you, your spouse, sit with you and look at what your financial situation looks like, one-on-one. You can be as open as you want, or you can just let us know, I don't desire to divulge that. But the more that we understand what your financial situation is, the more we can provide solutions. And so within that wealth checkup, we're able to help you with some solutions where you have these gaps, and we all have some gaps. We can help you with solutions that will help you keep your money, grow your money, guarantee your money, and protect your money. And so what we'll be asking that after our networking session, you can go to the next slide. After the networking session, feel free to come to this last table, and if you'd like to sign up even on today for one-on-one session, we'll be so glad to honor that and assist you. Why financial literacy matter? This principle, money is what? Money is a tool,
not a
it is
master.
not a master. Money is a tool, it is not a master. Most people do what? We work for money. We exchange our time for money. But when we begin to operate like the wealthy, we will then do what? Learn how to put our money in places where our money works for us.
That's right.
And how can we accomplish that? As long as we're in a place where we're lack of financial knowledge, we'll continue to be in debt, we're going to continue to be stressed out, we're going to continue to miss opportunities. So we want to change that for you. Last one. I always like to lead out or close out with this concept. I was presented by my niece on last year, who has been on the Section 8 voucher program for at least 15 years. And she was told about the program, and she brought me the packet and said, Amy, you're like the only person I know that can understand this. Just looking at it is overwhelming. And so when I took a closer look at it and found out that within the Section 8 program, there is the opportunity to move into home ownership. And so I have adopted the NACA program, Neighborhood Assistance Corporation of America. They are a nonprofit working all across the United States, partnering not only with HUD, but also with Bank of America. Bank of America has committed some $20 billion. $20 billion. And just like a lot of monies that have been appropriated, because it is not applied for, it's not asked for, what does it do? It goes back to the budget.
Yep.
And so we want to make sure that our community is taking advantage of this program. And so I am committing to be an accountability partner. If you are interested in the NACA program, if you're interested in getting into home ownership, we've been talking about what today? Building wealth. And so I am saying, for some of you, yes, you may want your first single-family residence, but I am showing ladies how to take this program and build wealth through real estate. Taking the opportunity and your first purchase to at least be a duplex or a fourplex. And so what does that look like? That looks like you living in one unit and the second unit is cash flowing. It's paying for the full unit. And so what are you having? You're building wealth because that additional cash flow, you're able to take that money and invest in other places. So this is how wealth is built. And so if you're interested in more of the NACA program, just speak to me afterwards. NACA is offering below interest fixed rates. All right, you know, Jerome Powell and the Federal Reserve, they just went down on our prime rate, 25 basis points. But still, mortgage rates are expensive, and people are staying at the mortgage rate we're at. Still, too many people have been priced out of home ownership. No down payment. No down payment. They're offering up to $50,000 down payment assistance. No closing costs, no fees, no mortgage insurance, that's your mortgage insurance premium, and no consideration of your credit score. Now that's to get into the NACA program. And what they will do is walk you all the way through with an advocate, with a person that will make sure that by the time you get to the end of that process of what it looks like for you, and it's going to look like something different for everybody, depending on what your credit score looks like. But you will be credit worthy to get into a property. Last time. So, thank you for attending today. If, again, you desire the free wealth checkup, drop that over at the table, and we will be glad to sign you up, speaking to one of our financial representatives. Come on, let's get Mr. Quayla to come back to the front of the room. We're going to go into our bingo. We have some prizes, and then we're going to close out with our networking session. All right?
Thank you.
Very good.
Say she mixing them up.
The bingo cards on the table, y'all can use y'all pens to mark it off. So I'm gonna just call the word out, and if you have it on there, you can just mark it. We'll do, first. 4 quarters. Do straight, okay, we'll do straight first.
So the starting point count is a box, right? This one right here?
Sure, that can be a free spot.
Okay, I don't know. I was just asking.
I don't think they're.
Okay. Okay, no problem.
But I'll just read the word, and if you have it, mark it. So, I need a call sheet. The first word is investment. Investment.
Investment.
I mean,
First
y'all
word.
can probably pick up on the side. At bingo, you have more than one card.
See, you think they're smart.
Investing or investing?
Mixing.
The next one is priorities. Next one is financial goal.
All right. You having all of them? Oh, you don't have none of them. You probably need to switch your shit.
Goal or financial goal?
Financial goal. Okay, next word is money. The theme is financial literacy, so. The next word is taxes.
Okay.
Anybody getting close?
I got my two. No, I got a better chance because I got mine right next to each other.
Okay.
Okay, we got financial education.
All right. I'm on the road.
You coming back, huh?
We got network.
Network, W-O-R-T-H.
See, when you be close, you just fall off.
Got savings.
All right, one more.
Ooh, y'all done passed me right on there.
We got emergency fund. Let's do a test if y'all was listening. How much should you have saved for your emergency fund?
5,000.
2,000. That's a big fun.
I need that.
That's always good. I know Dave Ramsey usually recommends 1, but they say 2. 1,000 is a little bit too close, so 2,000 is a little bit better.
Next word is strategies.
Strategy.
Yep.
Strategies.
Budgeting.
Bingo.
Ooh.
And what's your word?
Oh, I got a bingo also.
Wow.
Strategy,
Okay.
priority,
Okay.
priority, investment, and budget.
Okay. That was 5.
That was 4.
4.
It's not a 5 table, it's a 4 table.
Oh, okay. Do I give a prize or do they come pick it?
Yeah, come pick your gift.
Oh, I get mine too, right? Because I got the number. Okay. 5,000. Was that what it was?
$5,050.
Oh, God, I should have said 50, right?
No, choose the closest.
Okay, okay.
Okay, go ahead.
And I usually know my, like, things, but I was like, I really did not know that one. That's good that I know that.
Well, like, okay.
We'll continue until the 5 are gone, unless y'all can contribute.
All right. Well, let's pause. Let's bring up Mrs. Delma Marino, who is a part of our Infinite Company platform. She is Executive Business Director, Equity Partner. She is Mrs. Marshall. And she is a specialist in retirement. So we want to give this platform for her to speak to us. And for those of you all here in the Marshall area, she'll be working with Jaquela.
Yes. So, thank you all for being here today. And this could be the turning point for your life, because we were never taught. Just like you all, neither was I or my family. My grandchildren all are like, well, Grandma, you know, what do I do here, you know? So I've got my grandchildren getting started on all of this, because now they're young adults, out of school and have full-time jobs. One of them, I have a little bit about myself. I was born and raised just outside of El Paso, Texas. Lived there all, growing up. Then moved to Southern California, lived there for about 11 years, and then came down to Marshall about 35 years ago to be trained as a disciple of the Lord. And I am still here. And I am actually a retired teacher. So I get Social Security, I get teacher retirement, have a little bit of rental income, and I live in a very modest home over by the Duncan Edition, very private. I love it there. I've been there for 15 years. But if I was to retire, it's not enough. I'd have to sell my house, move into my rental house, which is just down the street from ETBU. That's not what I want. I retired as a teacher in high school, Marshall High School. What year did you graduate?
2019.
2019? Well, I was already gone. I retired in 2012. I did teach from 2008 to 2012, Marshall High School, PTY, and also Sam Houston.
Okay.
And just half a semester at the junior high.
Had to leave out of there.
But my goal when I joined our company, it's called Our Infinite Company.
Okay.
We were on the ground floor. Company had started, I think, in 2018. I joined at the end of 2019, and I specialize in any pension, but I'm an expert on the teacher market, on the state pensions, or any kind of pension. And I did not know how my pension worked. I quit my job because I had gotten divorced, I bought a new home, and found myself I couldn't afford to continue to teach. It just wasn't enough. So I called TRS. I said, you can retire, send me the paperwork. Well, I made some mistakes because they're not allowed to give you financial advice nor legal advice, and them telling me that I had to wait a certain number of years before I could get full retirement. I lost 30 to 40% of my paycheck
Yep.
and never knew it. And I meet with teachers all the time that are about to make that same mistake, and they say, oh no, TRS said I can do it. I said, sure you can. Well, let me show you. And I showed them on their portal, and they are shocked.
Yep.
So here's the thing, is that you have to set your goals. I am 70 years old. I have 3 grown children. One of them just turned 52.
Wow. It's wonderful.
My other 2 are in their mid to late 40s. I have a 31-year-old grandson. My youngest grandchild is 18 years old, who just went to Arkansas for college. But I'm starting the cycle over again. I have 6 great-grandchildren,
Wow.
ranging from 5-year-old to 1-year-old. My goal when I started working with Our Infinite Company was to finance their education. Coming from the school system, I did not want my great-grandchildren going to public school. I'm living the dream. I'm financing 4 great-grandchildren. 2 of them in kinder, 1 pre-K 4 and 1 pre-K 3. Next year I'll have another one. But hopefully that school voucher will hit in, and then I'm going to finance my grandchildren's IULs. And that stands for Index Universal Life Insurance. So I do what I share, but you have to secure your future. And it's not too late to get started now.
Yep.
The more years you have, the better it is. Now, one of the things that I love and enjoy is that I get to travel. I've been paid for by the company, the Bahamas, Costa Rica, just came back this summer from the Philippines. All of our back office is in the Philippines. So I was there for 2 weeks. The people are precious. I'm getting ready to go to Hawaii. And of course, I have to take a friend with me because the company's paying for it.
I volunteer.
Next year I'll be in Alaska. I'm gonna earn that trip to Alaska. You still can win it. Italy. That'll be sometime in April or May. I don't miss any of the company trips. But I am an equity partner. I did get my $100,000 ring.
Oh, beautiful. Congratulations.
I'm working towards my $250,000 ring. The point is, you need to start somewhere.
That's right.
Getting started with this young lady, she will help you. She's got the training. And how do I benefit from that? Well, guess what? I'm an equity owner. She makes a sale, I get some of those profits. Just, so am I going to help her? And I would have helped her anyway, whether I got anything or not, because that's who I am. And do you know where you're going? Do not think that because you'll have Medicare, Social Security, and debt paid off when you do retire. Guess what? I got some bad news. It's gonna, for treatment, $14,000 that Medicare won't pay for.
Yep.
But if I want a quality of life, guess what? I'm gonna pay for it.
That's right.
Because Medicare will only keep you sick. If you want something outside of that, it's gonna come out of your pocket.
Self-funded.
So you have to be prepared,
Yep. That's right.
because there's going to be a huge gap. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I travel, but I write all that off because I go train in Abilene. My granddaughter lives there, and 2 of my great-grandchildren live there, so I go spend 2 weeks over there training. I write off the whole trip. Well, I'm visiting. I have a team in El Paso. I travel there at least 4 times a year. I was born and raised there. Still have my friends and my brother and my cousins. So I stay at my brother's house for a week or 2. I write that off. I know what I can write off. But what do you want? Where do you envision yourself right now for your future? When are you going to retire?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how much you're going to get from Social Security? Is that going to be enough?
Mm.
No.
It's not.
The answer is no. If I had to live off of that and my teacher retirement, there's no way. Even if I lived on the other, in my home that's paid off.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't afford it.
I don't know.
So it's not too late. Make sure that you schedule today and secure your future. Start right now, especially for you young ladies. So young. And take it one step further. Join her. This is the most amazing company to work for, because you have the opportunity to become an equity owner. That's only going to be around for another year, maybe 2. So that's a huge huge thing is in 5 years, I'll get a paycheck from the company every month. Every month. And guess what? If I pass away, either my son or my granddaughter, if I can just get them licensed, they'll take my book of business. Right now, just on the teacher market, I've got over 380 clients. My clients don't leave because you saw they're making anywhere, when the market's doing well, they'll make between 10 to 19% interest. If it's not doing too well and there's some losses, maybe between 5 and 10%. But divide that into 72, when will their money double? They're happy with me, they're not going to leave. So make sure that you secure that appointment today because it will change your life and it's never too late to start. I started in my 50s, then I quit contributing because teaching wasn't enough. But now I'm contributing again and maxing out what I can. But thank you for being here, and if there's any questions I can ask, or you all can want to ask me later on, you're welcome to ask. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So we have a presentation to Quayla. We're going to wrap up our financial literacy bingo.
I just want to celebrate Jaquela on this wonderful accomplishment of just opening her associate's business and really being a part of what is really important when we are growing our money, and not only growing our money but building wealth. So I love that my friend is starting this new chapter of her, just her new business endeavor, and I'm excited to see what all comes out of it, and I look forward to supporting her as well. Congratulations.
So we'll have final comments from Jaquela. We'll do a few more bingos, and then we'll be in our networking session. Feel free to get more food. Feel free to ask any questions. Let's see what time it is. We're at 1:30, so we actually have this space until 3, so.
Well, I just want to thank y'all again for coming out. Thank y'all for your support. Feels good being recognized sometimes. So I just want to say thank you. You get back to the video here. Got literacy. Yes, did you check? Or check the words down? The first word is literacy. Then you can just continue with what you already have.
Okay.
You want to continue and do a blackout?
Yeah, nothing.
No, play bingo.
No.
We had a blackout.
Yeah.
Blackout. We got financially stable.
What's the last one? So what you just said?
Literacy.
Literacy.
We got financially stable. Fishing. PHISHING.